Here are the highlights. Round 7, the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. It's the Red Bull RedBud National. The crowd here is unrivaled, and they were fired up for racing. Jason Wygant here to give you the highlights. First, the first 450 Moto, and it's a hole shot for Josh Grant, who has won this race before, and he was flying early in this one. A little pressure from Jake Weimer, Trey Kennard, and Ryan Dungey, but he would start pulling away. As for your series points leader, Ryan Villopoto, not a good start for him. He would have to go to work. You see how many riders were in front of him. Here he gets Malcolm Stewart, and he get James Stewart, and then go after Dungey for third. He would do it. Then he had to get Kennard for second. He would do it. Then only Grant would lay in Villopoto's path. He would eventually get him, and the number 2 was into the lead. So the focus goes to Dungey. He would eventually get Kennard and Grant moving to the number 2 spot. Then Kennard would crash. Stewart would get to third, and then Dungey's bike breaks while running second. Heartbreaker for him. He goes from second to nothing as far as points in this moto are concerned. Stewart would take over second, Grant third, Ryan Villopoto, your winner. 450 Moto 2, there's Mike Alessi. He crashed out of Moto 1, bad gate pick. Dungey, bike broke, bad gate pick for him. Good start for James Stewart, who's just going to edge out Michael Byrne. Grant and Justin Brayton take over the early lead. Here's Villopoto up to third. Dungey somehow gets a good start despite the bad gate pick. He was in third, watching this battle for the lead, and it got good. Stewart and Villopoto, lines coming together. Villopoto knocked off the track, gets back on. 1 lap later, continues to apply pressure on Stewart, and this time, Stewart would make the unforced error. Bobbles coming into the slam whoops. Villopoto takes advantage as Stewart gets sideways and grabs the number 1 position. And then Stewart would suddenly be under attack from Dungey. Snags the number 2 spot. Inside the top 10, Trey Kennard was making tracks. He's got Alessi and Chad Reed and Brayton with him. Kennard would eventually get to 6th in the moto. And then Stewart inherits second late when Dungey crashes. It was a big crash. He was lucky to get up unharmed and still finish third. Stewart second. Villopoto takes the win, and Josh Grant, consistent all day long, third overall. On to the 250 class. Ken Roczen trying to get his mojo back here. Last couple of overalls have gone to other riders. He is still the points leader. I'll tell you, he's got the mojo out to start. Will Hahn, the number 19, has 4 hole shots already on the year, but he's got his teammate Eli Tomac with him, and Tomac would take the lead from him. Then it's Jeremy Martin third, and the KTM teammates of Musquin and Roczen coming through next. Musquin makes the move on Martin to take over third. Then Roczen gets Martin as well and goes after Hahn, as Musquin has gotten second, and Roczen gets Hahn, setting up a KTM rider battle for the number 2 position with Tomac pulling away. Battle between the teammates was pretty darn good. Once Roczen was clear of Hahn, he could go after the number 25. That was the most intense battle on the track. Eventually, Roczen was able to get the position from his teammate. And it wasn't over for Musquin. He would actually have to face some pressure from Martin, who put on a strong charge late in the race, and the rookie almost got the veteran for the number 3 position. As for the win, no doubter, Eli Tomac, fastest in practice, led every lap of Moto 1. 250 Moto number 2. Tomac looking to recreate that good start for the first moto, and it is a Geico Honda up front early, but it's not Hahn or Tomac, it's Zach Osborne. Got a pair of rookies, Martin on the 77, and Adam Cincerillo on 292 right with him. Cincerillo would go down on the first lap. Here's Osborne. Takes the green flag beginning lap 2 with Martin behind him and the KTM teammates of Roczen and Musquin. Now, what happened to Tomac? What happened to Osborne? Well, unfortunately, they would crash into each other. Tomac makes the move on his teammate, then loses the front wheel. Osborne has nowhere to go. So they've got a lot of work to do as Roczen would take the lead and get away. Martin putting in another good performance, but his old buddy Musquin, they hooked up in Moto 1. They would hook up in Moto 2. Musquin trying to get the rookie, and Martin doing a good job holding up under pressure. A little bit further back, you have the Geico Honda boys, Bogle and Osborne, and we finally see Tomac back on the radar. At one point after the crash, he was as far back as 9th. He would work his way past his teammates and then get in sight of that Musquin and Martin battle for the number 2 position. Musquin goes down, handing second place back to Martin. Tomac takes third when Musquin's on the ground, and then is able to get the rookie Martin to move into the number 2 position and even make a late run on Roczen, but it was too late. Roczen had a 13-second lead by the time Tomac got there. That crash cost him dearly. Roczen rode well down the stretch, and the Red Bull KTM man has got the overall win at RedBud.